Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, one and all, what is up? Welcome back to Mega Man 3 Sir Snake only. Here I am getting the Sir Snakes out for one last time because it's the finale. Brings a tear to my eye. Yes, in this episode we'll be completing the game. Previous episode took on the elusive Breakman once more for the final time, and then went through the first three stages here of Dr. Wily's good old castle, and here we are, touchdown in stage 4. Refill some of my weapons here, I suppose, or my rush utilities. Yeah, as you can see, the stages have changed their looks a little bit. They've ditched the circuit board look for these sort of bricks, which I don't think really looks that much better. But hey, look, I'm going behind these pipes here, which are in the foreground. That's a pretty neat visual touch. Anyway, moving on. Is it gonna kill them? Yes, it does. Okay, so these little, you know, like junk throwing robots, they drop from the ceiling and they're very hard to dodge and extremely annoying. So luckily this is the only stage in the game they show up in. Thank goodness not in Sparkman stage, since Sparkman stage of course has that junk, you know, dropping out of those chutes in the ceiling. And only a bit of health. I was hoping for an E-tank. Oh, look at that. Oh, almost made the jump. I almost was awesome, but no, not quite. Okay, there's gonna be, yep, another one of these guys. Get rid of him. Come on. And there we go. Alright, dropping down a little bit further. Okay, so this room, if you drop down immediately, you're gonna get hit by that guy. There's just like no way around it. See, like that. I'm not doing the best job, am I? Not doing the best job. Not gonna lie on that stroke. No good sirs. And with that, we're at the end of the stage. Very short stage, isn't it? Well, we're getting to that point where we're far enough. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's sliding right over that gap. Come on, let's try and duplicate it. Come on. Oh, come on. Oh, come on, I did it like 3 times in a row before. It's quite tricky to do that. I never quite understood exactly how you do it. I have done it before. Anyway, yeah, so we're getting to that point where the Wily stages are getting really short. Remember in Mega Man 2, Wily stage 5 and 6 were both really short. Well, here in the 4th stage, they're already getting quite short, but hey, whatever. But, oh, what is this? A teleporter cubicle? What could this possibly mean? Well, I'll tell you what it means. It is boss rush time. It is time to take on the doppelgangers of Robot Masters fallen in the past. And I'm just thinking right now about who I should take on first. Well, you know, all this started with a good snake. All this started with a good man named Snake Man. And I think we're going to take him on first. As I said, every Robot Master in this game is somewhat weak to their own weapon, so as you can see, Snake Man takes 4 damage to the Search Snake, which makes it quite easy to take him down. Ah, the memories of fighting you, Snake Man, way back in episode 1. That was a while ago now, wasn't it? That was a while ago. Well, you're even easier this time, since I have a weakness of yours. I'm sure I did mention that every Robot Master in this game is weak to their own weapon. I'm sure I mentioned that. Not to the same degree as Metal Man is in Mega Man 2, who gets killed in like 1 or 2 hits from his own weapon, but they're all quite susceptible to it. All quite susceptible to their own weapons. And as you can see, Snake Man actually has his original terrain here. If you remember in Mega Man 2, Flashman and Quickman just got flat floors in their refights, which made them a little bit easier. In this game, no, not so. We actually have the proper terrain for their bosses. So it's not going to be as easy as all that. So we might as well take on the bosses in the original order I took them on. So after Snake Man was Needle Man, and Needle Man is up here in the top left. I'm probably going to have to use an E-Tank here, because if you remember, I couldn't exactly do this the first time. Wait a minute, I swear I was just facing the wrong way, yet the snakes fired that way anyway. Whatever, I'm not going to question. Not going to question. But yeah, I don't really have any reservations using an E-Tank. I mean, if I have to, I have to. I have like 6 of the things, so it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, Needle Man, tricky as ever. Tricky but fun as ever. I do love this battle. One of my favorite Robot Master fights in the whole franchise. Alright, there we go. Nope, come on. I need to be able to beat him. If I can't beat him having used an E-Tank, then bloody hell. That looks like it's going to be the case, because I'm taking a walloping right now to him. Oh my god, he would kill me in 1 hit right now if he hit me with that needle press on his head. He's barely even at half health. Oh, actually, no, he's a bit further than that. He's only got 4 HP left. I think we're good. Well, after that sloppy performance, there we have it. Needle Man is down. Pretty cool how my 2 favorite Robot Masters in this game get to be in the top teleporter capsule. See, I get it, because they're on top. They're the best. I would also like to point out how cool that background is, the flashiness. And of course, we've got the epic music in this stage as well, carrying over from stage 3. I didn't mention that, but yep. Pretty awesome. Alright, after that we took on Magnet Man, and I believe... no, Magnet Man's in this one, isn't he? Yeah, he's in this one, that's right. Okay, so, he only took 1 damage, didn't he? Yep, alright, we're in for a long haul here. This might take a little while, but shouldn't be very hard, because as I said, Magnet Man, he's a real simple boss. He only has 2 attacks. The magnetism pull thing, as you see there, and then the shooting magnets from the roof. It's really not much of a problem. There's not really too much to say about this boss. Now, I'm already, like, you know, struggling to think of something to say, so, I don't know, I guess I'll talk about the background. Background's kind of cool. It's got, like, a bunch of hexagons and diamonds. It's pretty interesting, I suppose, but it's still not that great. I don't know. It just sort of seems like, you know, your generic indoor background to me, even if it is unique, and, you know, you don't see a background quite like this, I don't think, in any other Mega Man game, but even then, it's a bit drab, I don't know. And I'm not even doing that great of a job here, am I? I'm actually taking quite a few hits, which is... Ooh, jeez, alright, another E-Tank. We've used 3 of the bloody things, and I've only defeated 2 Robot Masters so far. This isn't looking good for me, is it? Oh, well. There's gonna be 1 or 2 Robot Masters that are immune to the Search Snake that I can do good old Mega Buster strats. I'm looking at you, Hardman. Hardman will be coming up soon enough, I'm sure. Alright, there we go. I should just be taking this slow and steady, not trying to rush. That's what's been getting me so far. Just hit him 1 snake at a time, really. Yeah, see, I tried to hit him twice there. It didn't really work out, did it? Oh, and I got hit there. Not doing a great job. Not doing a great job. Come on, Magnet Man. You're supposed to be easy. You're like one of the easiest Robot Masters. Well, the Mega Buster anyway, seeing as the Mega Buster does 2 damage to you. Search Snake only doing 1. It's pretty unfortunate. But... hey, that's the way things worked out, and I jumped into him again. Why do I keep on doing that? I keep on jumping into him because you have to get up close and personal to actually get the Search Snake to hit him. Because the Search Snake is quite tricky to hit anything with in midair, as you've probably gathered thus far in this Let's Play. It is quite tricky to hit stuff in the air with it. But there we go, and I'm almost at full health. So, after Magnet Man was Gemini Man, who is weak to the Search Snake. So, here we go. He's in the bottom left teleporter capsule, just like how he was in the bottom left on the stage select screen, so that's easy to remember. Yeah, Gemini Man, weak to the old Search Snake. This isn't going to be hard. I already got rid of his twin, and there we go. Got rid of both of them. Not hard at all. And next is Hardman, actually, who is in the bottom left here, and Top Man is in the bottom right, which is pretty cool, because, you know, Hardman is on the left of the stage select screen, Top Man on the right. That sort of makes sense. And Shadow Man is in this bottom right capsule here, and he's in the bottom right of the stage select screen, so... you know, logic and all that jazz. Anyway, let's get in there and fight me some Hardman. Just to re-establish Search Snake does do nothing, correct? Yes. Okay, so I'm not sure what strategy I used last time. I think I used the strategy where you just sort of tank all the hits from him. I think I'll try and show off the no damage strategy. So I think I did show it off a little bit. How you go up against the wall here and just jump over the hard knuckles, and they don't have a chance to boomerang back at you because they just go right off screen. It's, yeah, very easy to beat him without getting hurt this way. It's not... Hardman is not a tricky boss to beat no damage. But, it's quite tedious, as you can see. It takes quite a while to get him down, so I think I'm just going to start tanking the hits and pelting him. I mean, as long as he gives me enough health that I can get back to full health at the end, then I should be okay. And that looks like how it's going to work. Okay, 1 more hit, and there we go. And that should be enough health. Yep, get us back to full. Sweet. Things are looking up from the dark days of having to use 2 E-Tanks at Needleman, but hey, Needleman again, he's really hard. Snake Man, he takes 1 damage, great. So it's sort of a Magnet Man situation here. A Robot Master that usually takes 2 damage to Mega Buster, but now using this weapon, he only takes 1 damage. Still, his pattern's easy. Top Man is the easiest Robot Master in this game. Poor guy. Poor guy. You might think to yourself, tops aren't really that threatening, and I guess you'd be right. Bit of a shame. I almost feel like he should be the hardest Robot Master, just to, like, you know, you know, go against all the people that think like, oh, tops, they're not threatening at all. Spinning tops of doom. I just imagine Top Man. He's like this confident, conniving personality. He's like, yeah, I can do anything, man. I can take over the world with my bloody tops. And he really does believe it. He's a bit deluded in that regard, I think, if that were to be true. But hey, whatever. There we go. He's down. And next, Snake Man is next in numerical order. We already did him first, of course. So next is Spark Man. Taking him down. So he only took 1 damage too, didn't he? Oh no, he didn't get hit, right? He was the other master that didn't get hurt. Alright, that's gonna make things easy. Let's just get the Mega Buster out and start wailing on him. Okay. So yeah, as you can see, terrain is the same, and it's pretty much mandatory for the terrain to be the same. I think Flashman and Quickman could get away with their refight terrain just being flat, but Sparkman, yeah, you can see why there was a need to change it. This boss would not work on flat terrain, him just sort of hopping around, being really hard to avoid the big spark ball he shoots at you, because you really can't jump over it, even on a flat terrain. You really got to get on different elevations and avoid it. But still, hey, Sparkman, really not that hard of a boss. Somewhat tricky to do, no damage. It's pretty hard not to get hit at least once, but overall it's an easy boss. Anyway, Shadow Man, we've saved another tricky one for last. Unfortunately, I may have to use another E-Tank for this. Oh, that was a good start. Okay, just make sure I get some hits in, that's all that matters. Just make sure I'm getting some damage done. I don't mind using a E-Tank, but it would be pretty poor if I had to use two. Be pretty poor. Okay, now's the time to use an E-Tank. Still got 3 left, that's pretty solid. I'm not sure if I'm gonna need any more throughout the rest of the game anyway, but hey, I mean, it's better safe than sorry. Okay, slide, yes, good. It's better if he slides. It's just RNG, really. If he shoots his Shadow Blade, you're screwed. You just kind of hope for him to slide every time, which he isn't gonna do, but hey. I'd also like to point out that the Robot Masters actually do follow an order in this capsule room. So remember, Needleman is the first one. He's number 17 here. Magnet Man's number 18 here. Gemini 19 here. Hard 20 here. Top 21 here. And then it just sort of goes up to the top here with 22 on Snake Man, 23 Spark Man, 24 Shadow Man. I find it kind of weird, because you would think if it goes like in an L shape down here, you think it would just go up the top with Shadow Man being up the top there, but no, it just sort of cuts the Snake Man up here from top man at the bottom. I don't know. I find the logic a little bit strange. But hey, at least there is some numerical logic in where they're putting the bosses in these capsules now. There wasn't any in the second game, that's for sure. Anyway, with that, we head through here, and ooh, is it final boss time? Is it? Is it? No, that teleport actually takes us out of the stage. That's the end of Wily Stage 4. Yep, Wily Stage 4 is one of the only Mega Man stages that doesn't really have like a boss to finish the stage. It's just the Robot Master Rush, and then that's it. We're out of the stage. And here we are in Wily Stage 5. We're back to the same like circuit board background with the green grid on blue pipes. Very much like the second and third stages. Anyway, do I actually need to fill anything with this weapon energy? I guess hard knuckle needed a little bit. Oh, hard knuckle. Yeah, a little bit. I think that's it actually. Alright, let's see if we can get an E-Tank out of these question mark things. Nope, just some health, which is useless. More health, which is useless. I think that this room looks kind of like a face in a way. Don't you think? Like this is an eye up here where I'm standing, and then this is also an eye up here, and then this is the mouth I'm standing in. Like I feel like that's kind of what it looks like. Or it sort of looks like a Space Invader almost. That sort of shape of a Space Invader. Anyway, dropping down, and whoa, that's it for Wily Stage 5. Straight into the boss. This whole stage is pretty much just the boss, and it is the Wily machine. It is time for our final confrontation with Dr. Wily. As you can see, he's got an all-new Wily machine, and it's a pretty weird-looking one, if I do say so myself. It's got, like, big goggly eyes up there, and, like, giant nail feet. Like, legit, those feet look like nails. Anyway, you just have to hit the turret underneath, and luckily, Search Snake is its weakness, so that helps. Search Snake and Spark Shock, if I remember correctly. Now, does the Search Snake actually damage? I think I'm going to take a death here to establish. It does, and it does a lot of damage as well. Okay. Looks like Search Snake is one of his weaknesses. I genuinely did not know that Search Snake was a weakness of the second phase. I thought it was just the first phase, but it's pretty obvious why you wouldn't want to use it for the second phase. Because you've kind of got to, you know, take a heap of damage to actually get in there and get it done. But I'm sure with the help of an E-Tank or two, I can pull through, of course. But yeah, weird looking Wily machine. The nail-legged, goggly-eyed Wily machine. And then, of course, if you didn't notice, when you get rid of that turret down the bottom, Wily himself makes his appearance. Oh boy, that really does do a lot of damage, but unfortunately it does a lot of damage to me as well, so I'm going to have to use an E-Tank. So, I think we should be able to kill him on the next cycle when he dips down, though. There we go. Easy enough. You know, I've never realized how easy it is to kill him with Search Snake. Well, you have to take a ton of hits. His other weakness, the easier to use weakness, is the hard knuckle. Anyway, yeah, game finished. Oh no, not really game finished. Yeah, it's a decoy. Of course it's a decoy, of course. Decoy robot. That couldn't be the end now, could it? Second skull, just like Mega Man 2. And sadly, that's the last time we'll see Wily's fortress there. It's a pretty cool looking fortress. Not sure if I'd say I like it more than the second games. It's a lot more vertical than many of the other games. Wily fortresses, or just, you know, fortresses in general. But yeah, anyway, like I was saying, Hard Knuckle is the weakness of the Wily machine, but actually Rush Jet sort of works better, because he's not immune to the Rush Jet, and if you're on the Rush Jet, then you can just stay at the level of the Wily machine and completely wail on him and kill him in about 5 seconds, so... Yep, Rush Jet works just as well as Hard Knuckle, if not better. Anyway, just gathering up these extra power-ups here. As you can see, once again, Wily Stage 6 is only one screen long. These stages, they're really shortening, aren't they? These are like the shortest stages in Mega Man history, pretty much, because from here on out, they sort of start to avoid the really short stages a little more. No, not necessarily. The last stages in Mega Man 4, 5, and 6 are all really short, I guess, but... 7 onwards, there isn't really any, like, short final stage, or actually in 8 it kind of is. I don't know, that not in every game it's like this anyway. I'm just gonna shoot these little, things, that didn't really help, does it? And it only would have helped if they gave me an E-Tank. Well, that was odd. It sort of warps over to you. Like, no? Wait. Yeah, it moves under you, with you. Anyway. So, we're actually heading into the final boss now. This is the final stage of the game, I will spoil that. Wily Stage 6 is the final stage. It's got that circuit board walls again, but no pipes or grid in the background this time. Anyway, this final encounter is actually with Gamma. There he is, the giant peacekeeping robot that has been the hinge point of this game's plot. Even though the game didn't really explain that very well. Yes, the final boss is Gamma. And unfortunately, I do not think Search Snake works. In fact, I know Search Snake doesn't work, and I'm going to demonstrate it. That didn't really demonstrate it. Let's try demonstrating it a little bit better. So if I get up here... No, damn it! Alright, we'll use Rush Jet instead. So I want to demonstrate that Search Snake doesn't work, so you know I'm not some kind of lying, cheating, conniving bugger. Right. There we go. Finally got it to deflect off. Alright, I don't mind using E-Tank. I've got 2 left and I should be fine for being this boss. Anyway, only 2 weapons work on Gamma. They are the Hard Knuckle and the Shadow Blade. Hard Knuckle is best to use if you're standing over here on the ledge. Ooh, face the right way. You can just do that. As you can see, it's pretty easy. Just navigate upwards. Shadow Blade is also very useful. You can actually stand directly underneath him and shoot Shadow Blade straight up at him. He actually can't hit you if you're standing directly underneath him, but I'm already over on this platform, so I might as well just do it from here, so I don't have to get back up here again. There we go. And that's the end of the first phase, but he does have a second phase. In the second one, his eyes show up and Dr. Wily appears at the controls, and he actually has his hand coming there with insta-death spikes, and you can jump on his hand to get up here, but I'm already up here. And Search Snake is actually one of the 2 weapons that works on this final phase. Top Spin and Search Snake are the only ones that work, which are pretty, you know, jerkish move on the game dev's parts, because Search Snake and Top Spin are the hardest weapons to hit him with. Top Spin will actually one-hit kill him though, so that's pretty easy, but hey, with Search Snake, you can just jump from here, and there you go. Defeated. Oh, that's right. Bow down to my bottom. He's worshipping my backside, yes. Thank you, Wily, thank you, that made my day. Oh, everything's collapsing now. And Wily's being crushed by junk. Oh, a mysterious figure appears. Where's Dr. Wily? Oh no, too late. And Wily's misspelled again. Yes, Dr. Wily is dead. Finally. He won't be coming back at all. Yes, okay, time for the epilogue. Mega Man, you've regained consciousness. I found you lying here when I arrived. I wonder who brought you here. Ooh, it's Breakman's whistle. He's back. This whistle, it must have been Proto Man. Proto Man? No, that was Breakman. I totally didn't spoil that Breakman was Proto Man the whole time earlier in this playthrough, didn't I? No, okay, number list of robots made by Dr. Wright. Dr. Light, that is. Number 8, Elecman, Atomic Energy Controller. Number 7, Fireman, Waste Disposal Robot. So let's go on through all the robots in the first game that Dr. Light made. Number 6, Bomb Man, Ground Disruption Robot. And it gives them mugshots here as well. Number 5, Iceman, Antarctic Investigation Robot. Number 4, Gutsman, Wilderness Reclamation Robot. Number 3, Cutman, Timber Felling Robot. So there you go, there's all the robot masters of the first game. But also, number 2, Roll, Housekeeping Robot, Mega Man's sister. And Mega Man 1, or number 1, Mega Man, former assistant to Dr. Wright, it means Dr. Light. Number 0, Proto Man, new robot prototype, brother of Mega Man. So you mean this whole time he was my brother? And you can see Wily Saucer on the top right there. Whoops, you know, you didn't hear that. You didn't hear that from me. He's totally dead, okay? He's totally dead. He's never coming back, okay? Number 17, Needleman, Nobuhiko Akatsuka. Again, like Mega Man 2, Magnet Man, Nagashiki. Yeah, like Mega Man 2, all the Rope Masters were designed by fans, so these are, you know, those credits. Number 19, Gemini Man, Yoshihito Hattori. Some of these names are really fun to say. Number 20, Hard Man, Kazuhiko Ugoro. Or Ogoru, okay. Number 21, Top Man, Yasushi Konjiki. Snake Man, yes! My good buddy, my main man, Snake Man, Yujiro Ishitani. Number 23, Sparkman, Mikihiro Suzuki. Suzuki, that's a car brand, of course. And then finally, my favorite name to say for Shadow Man, Takumini Yoshida. That's such a fun name to say. Takumini Yoshida. And here we are on the credits. All that went by really quickly. So yeah, allow me to explain. Breakman was Proto Man the whole time. Proto Man being Mega Man's brother. Basically, Proto Man's background is he was the first ever robot created by Dr. Light, or the first ever sentient robot. And he went haywire, and he thought Dr. Light was going to deactivate him, and he was afraid his personality would get deleted, so Proto Man ran away, and now he has returned. And he's usually a bit of an anti-hero, really, turning up occasionally to, you know, have a duel with you, or give you a bit of advice or something. He never usually helps Mega Man out directly, though. But yeah, it's a bit of a trio of family there, isn't there, with Proto Man being the eldest brother, Mega Man being the middle child, and Roll being the young sister. It's pretty interesting. Presented by Capcom, right, running on Rush. So yeah, that's Proto Man's backstory, and Dr. Wily, I think I kind of already spoiled that he might be back for future sequels. We'll see about that one. Oh dear. And yeah, when I said Dr. Wright before, it did mean Dr. Light, because if you don't know, in Japan, Dr. Light is called Dr. Wright. That's just another typo thing. Again, this game was a little bit rushed, so they didn't have time to fix that. And I think it was pretty cool how it showed us all the numbers of the Rope Masters in the first Mega Man game, you know, the order they went through, numbers 3 through 8. It sort of explains why Metal Man is number 9 instead of number 7, because of course Mega Man and Roll are 1 and 2, and Proto Man gets to be number 0, because hey, I guess Zeros are cool. And then yeah, all 8 Robot Masters, again designed by fans, as I mentioned, which is pretty damn cool. I'm not sure just how much of their designs was done by fans, you know, how much Capcom stepped in and redesigned them, but at least the original ideas and basic designs were conceived by fans that sent in their submissions. I think there were like thousands of submissions actually, so pretty cool that they selected those 8, particularly since they're a little bit more creative than some other games. You know, you don't have your typical Fire Robot Master, Ice Robot Master. I mean, those are all pretty cool, you know, archetypes, rather. But you know, I think it's interesting to have something more creative. You know, snakes, needles, Geminis, like, you know, magnets. They're pretty interesting. I mean, Sparkman is still your pretty typical, you know, electricity robot master after all. But then, you know, Hardman, he's a fist-based robot. And Topman, Top Shadows. Let me reiterate that Shadow Man is a robot ninja from outer space. I think we can put to bed, you know, why exactly Shadow Man is considered so cool. But anyway, I guess I should discuss final thoughts on the game now that we're here at the credits. Yeah, again, as I mentioned many times now, the game is a little bit rushed. I still think it's fantastic, but I think it's definitely a potential for more. You know, we could have had like a proper explanation of the story at the start of the game, and Dr. Wily's castle was a bit too easy. It definitely felt like those last few stages, they didn't put a whole lot of effort into them, or at least, you know, they ran out of time to put more effort into it. The Doc Robot stage is definitely the hardest part of the game, which is a bit of a misbalance in difficulty, in all honesty. Some of those Doc Robots are ridiculous. Like, Doc Wood is actually poorly designed, to be perfectly honest. I mean, it doesn't mean I hate fighting him. It's one of those things where, you know, you can admit a game is bad at... What am I saying? This game is fantastic, and I think that objectively, too. Like, you know, I think objectively this game is great, but subjectively I'm like, oh, it's amazing. But the point is, I think even if you think a game is fantastic, I mean, you know, it's important to be able to admit the flaws that it has. And I think that even when you have a boss that's flawed like Doc Wood, if you love a game enough and you play it enough, you get good enough at it that it doesn't become a problem anymore. Like Doc Wood, you know, I don't have that much problem with him anymore because I'm just so good at this game now, and I can fight him easily. So it isn't really frustrating to me anymore that it's quite a poorly designed boss. And I think that's an interesting way of looking at opinions on games, because we can have someone that's played a game so much that they sort of go past the flaws, and flaws don't really bother them so much anymore, and thus that means they're able to enjoy the game more. So because they enjoyed the game just enough in the first place to keep playing it over and over and over, they come to enjoy the game even more, or at least be able to look past the flaws, as I mentioned. And something like Doc Wood and the Doc robots in general. I mean, I just love the idea of the Doc robots in the first place, you know, resurrecting old spirits and revisited stages. I think it's a novel idea, I really do. Not implemented the most smoothly, and I can definitely understand if the rough edges around this game, the occasional, you know, glitch, you know, like slow down or sprite flicker, and general design not always being the best. I can understand if reasons like that can make it that this game isn't as much in the favor of particular people, but generally speaking, the fandom likes this game. Not quite as much as Mega Man 2, but I'd say after Mega Man 2, this is probably the most popular classic Mega Man game, which I love, because I really do adore this game, just personally. It's a wonderful game. Final boss, Gamma. A little bit of an easy final boss, but then again, the final boss of Mega Man 2 was quite easy in itself, and in Mega Man 4, it's also reasonably easy. It's usually the penultimate boss that's the trickiest, actually, you know, like the Wily machines. It isn't really until we get to, like, Mega Man, I want to say, yeah, Mega Man 5's final boss is probably the hardest boss in the game. Mega Man 1, the final boss in Mega Man 1 is harder than 2 and 3, but it's not the hardest boss in the game, I wouldn't think. Yellow Devil is the hardest boss in that game for a first-time player, and then probably Iceman if you don't use his weakness for an experienced player. Or even, you know, if you're doing rolling cutter only like I did, that makes the bubble boss CW01P utterly insane and impossible, and I couldn't do it. Like, so I guess it just depends on the context, really, what kind of weapons you're using, what kind of rules you're subjecting yourself to. It's all relative, isn't it, the difficulty of these things. But anyway, Mega Man 3, fantastic game, I love it. There's a real sense of finality here at the end. Dr. Wily's apparently dead. We get the revelation of Mega Man's brother. We finally get numbers assigned to the Rope Masters in the first game officially. And then the credits with the ones from Mega Man 3. The fact that we get to see the Mega Man 2 Rope Masters resurrected as Doc robots is almost something like this was going to be the final Mega Man game, which was never the case. This was never going to be the final Mega Man game. If it sold well, they were going to make another sequel, which they did. But I'm just saying, there is a certain sense of finality to it. Like, this is wrapping up the first Mega Man trilogy. Because the Mega Man games do fall nicely into trilogies. Like, in the classic games, you have the first 3 games as one trilogy, and then 4 through 6 is another trilogy representing the 6 NES games for classic Mega Man. And the X games fall under that sort of trilogy setup even more so, since the first 3 games are on SNES, and then the second 3 games are on PS1. But that's, of course, a discussion for another time. Just trying to think what else I want to say, really. I didn't discuss the music for Wily Stages 5 and 6. It's quite foreboding, typical sort of final stage music, but not very interesting. One of the weakest tracks of the game, in my opinion. And Wily Stages 5 and 6 are only like 1 screen long each, so unless you actually sit there and listen to the whole music, just because you want to, you know, you're not going to hear the whole thing, which I think is a bit of a shame. But hey, I guess I'm kind of glad that it's there, you know, one more song on the soundtrack. If they just kept using Wily Stage 3 and 4 music, I mean, those stages are only 1 screen long anyway, so it's not that vital that I hear them, that fantastic music again. Last couple of stages might as well have another song in the soundtrack, so. Oh yeah, and then the Wily Stage bosses have their own music as well, which is good, just like Mega Man 1. Mega Man 2 just had the one boss theme for every single boss, which I thought was a little bit disappointing, but I'd probably still say the Robot Master boss fight music is the better boss music in the game. Yeah, I guess that pretty much wraps things up. I love a lot of stuff about this game. Fantastic set of creative Robot Masters, great stages, definitely rough around the edges, but I can look beyond it. It's a fantastic game, and I really implore anyone that hasn't played this game to give it a try, because it's a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun. As for my next project is probably going to be Crash Bandicoot 2, the no spin run, after, you know, I finished my no spin run of Crash 1 last year, actually. Whew, it's a while ago now, wasn't it? And with the remastered trilogy coming out at the end of June this year, I kind of want to get Crash 2 and 3, the no spin challenge runs, done before then, so I think I'm going to jump right into there. If you haven't played any of the Crash Bandicoot games, they are platformers, just like Mega Man. They are fantastic games. I absolutely adore them, just the same way I adore Mega Man. And you know, if you have any interest in platformers, then I'm sure you'll enjoy that. So stick around for my next Let's Play. Till then, though, this is the end of Mega Man 3. This is the Free Tangerine 17. Signing off.